welcome to Station 91, guys. My name is Paulo, and welcome to my new podcast. In this podcast, I'm going to talk about various things, current news, old news, alternative history, conspiracy theories, Bible theology, basically whatever's on my mind. Today, we're going to talk about ancient Egypt and their technology and the Old Kingdom. I want to start off by saying that I think, and these are my opinions, if you contradict, not contradict. If you don't agree with them, you can write it in the comment section. If you agree with them, do the same, and let's get a dialogue going. I think that technology used to build the pyramid is lost and not able to reproduce because it was a forbidden technology in God's eyes that was wiped out on the flood. Why was it forbidden? Maybe it was magic. I'm not too sure what type of magic it was, or even if you could call it magic. I'm just using the word magic because it's like outside of the normal of how things are supposed to function. So I would assume it's magic, right? And how was this knowledge passed? Not even, right? Well, and how was this knowledge passed? I believe this knowledge was passed by fallen angels teaching humans on how to build these artifacts. Maybe the artifacts mess with the laws of nature in some way, contradicting the already set laws that God put forward in this earth, which are perfect. And this was detestable in his eyes, amongst other things that were happening before the flood. I think this earth was probably chaos before the flood. And for this theory of mine to be true, it puts Egypt into a pre-Diluvian era, which ties into Graham Hancock's theory of the Younger Dryad theories, which resembles the idea of a flood. This theory is denied by a lot of historians and archaeologists who are stuck in their ways. And I get it. They study something for their whole lives. They don't want someone to come and say, hey, it's actually, that's not how it goes. But still to deny and not even give it a time of day with all the evidence that's presented out there today is fucked up. I already don't believe anything that we learned in the history books in schools. So for them to hide the knowledge is crazy, man. For them to just be so prideful and not even take into consideration new theories is crazy. The Younger Dryas theories is that theory that a comet hit the poles and the ice melted, raised water levels, and destroyed these ancient civilizations. This kind of matches with the flood. I think that the way God works is very mysterious. He doesn't just snap his fingers and rain falls. I think that everything he does is a cause and effect. I think he leaves paper trails. I think it makes sense, the Younger Dryas theory. So, he just doesn't snap his fingers. Rain starts to fall. I think he has to leave crumbles for us to find, right? So I've tried finding biblical texts mentions of Egypt before the flood. I looked in the book of Enoch. I could not find it. I looked for it in the Bible. It only mentions Egypt, I think, in Genesis. I forgot what it was, but it was Abraham's time. That's after the flood. So if you know any ancient texts that describe Egypt before the flood, leave it in the comment section so I can read about it. It's pretty interesting because that could tie everything up for me at least. And I think the pyramids were built using this lost technology, and I don't think it's for burial of kings. I think it was much deeper than that. I think maybe something to do with harvesting energy, or I don't know what it is. And I know it wasn't just for burial of kings. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, for all of this to work, it had to be pre-flood. And it's interesting because, these fallen angels are talked about a lot. And, they have ancient texts talking about these fallen angels. And they like the hieroglyphics in Egypt, a lot of the gods have bodies of man and heads of animals. And a lot of angels are described that way. So it kind of makes sense. These fallen angels teaching these humans this technology that they're not supposed to know. And in return, they worship them. That's what they wanted, right? The fallen angels, they want to be worshipped, led by Satan or whatever you want to call him. And yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say the technology that was used back then is no longer available. For some reason, God didn't want it. And think we'll ever know why, especially with these historians not letting us give in different insights than what they have. Imagine that. No, it's not that way. It's my way. Fuck off. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Watch a pretty interesting podcast with Ben Van Kerkwick on the Concrete Podcast, and he mentions how the hieroglyphics on some of the statues and marbles don't even match. So they were put on there after the fact. So it's Egyptians from the New Kingdom putting hieroglyphics on stuff from the Old Kingdom. Anyways, the rabbit hole is so deep with Egypt. I could just go on forever. But I just wanted to, I like putting Bible theory into some questions that I have about history. It just makes sense for me. And I really think that, that ancient kingdom could have been, whenever they built the pyramids, it could have been pre-flood or maybe post-flood, with the knowledge still being passed on by the sons of the fallen angels, because we know that the fallen angels slept with the daughters of men and created these hybrids, like these demigods. They could have had knowledge too, and that could have been part of it too. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We can get a dialogue going. If you disagree with me, let me know. And thank you for listening in. And God bless. Stay safe.